Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. If you happen to be new here, what's up? My name is Zuleka and I am a creative sharing my journey, the ups, the downs, and honestly, just you didn't see that. Sharing the journey like authentically. I know that word is thrown around a lot, but I truly do mean that. Um, in today's episode, I wanted to just talk about change, and this conversation actually came from a little tea message that I got. It said the only constant is change, and this is from the brand Yogi. I love tea. I specifically love this tea though because I love these little messages. They're just like a pick me up. They're always encouraging, and sometimes they just happen to always be like in alignment with what I'm going through. And I'd be like, Most High, I know that you're trying to talk to me. Like, you're giving me a sign of hope. I see you. And so, shout out to Yogi. Um, I literally said it on my Instagram. I'm like, dude, can you imagine like working with Yogi like as a creative? Like, what if you get to do a design for the inside of the box or try out new teas and stuff? Like, I don't know, just putting that out there into the webs, into the world, because you just never know what can happen. You just never know. The only constant is change. And lately, oh my God, my life has been changing so much. And it's funny because I saw a reel on Instagram the other day and it was talking about like, oh, me saying, I want change to happen and this, and that. And then 6 months later, stressing out because it's changed. And it's like, oh, I actually asked for this, but the way that it happened, the way that it's happening and unfolding is not the way I thought it would. And that's been my life lately. Like, oh my God. I actually journaled about this a while back. I was like, I just feel this inside of me. Like, I just can't do the same thing anymore. I need something different. I need something new. I think I just want to do something like just abstract in my life. I gotta change because it's just feeling so mundane. And I kept trying to just tell myself, like, you know what? I just have to be more grateful. I need to practice more gratitude. I need to change some things about my life. And so I started changing little things and it was good, but it just felt like something more. And I didn't know what that more looked like for me. And quite frankly, I was a little bit fearful because I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything crazy like quitting my job or moving to a different country or anything crazy like that because like I'm just not in that place. Shout out to the peoples who can do that and to the people who have. Shout out to y'all. But I'm very much like I like to have a plan and I gotta make sure stuff is making sense before I just jump off the ledge. But I don't know. I guess life, the Most High, really wanted me to shift some things. And when I tell you the signs were so clear that that was in alignment for what was next in my life, the shifts started shifting and I needed to be fully present. So I wasn't recording nan, okay? I wasn't filming nothing. Social media was gone because I really needed to lock in. I had to be parade up, journaling, meditating, all the stuff because it's been a lot. And it's so cool because an art idea came back to me, an art idea that I made a while back. I sketched it out in my sketchbook. I want to say maybe a year ago. But I just wasn't really noticing why. At the time I just thought it was because I thought lotus flowers were pretty. But now I don't know, it feels like my life. And so I wanted to show you guys that painting because this is just gonna be a small video for YouTube. I'm not gonna do anything too long in this video, but I ended up coming up with this painting. It's not done yet, but this is just like the first layer. I made this in flow. I literally painted all of this in one day. And this painting is called No Mud, No Lotus. And it is highlighting on the fact that without the necessary changes and conditions, good cannot be birthed. this change cannot happen. So the mud must happen. The swamp, the murky waters, the things that you feel like are covering you, they must happen so that you can bloom. And I feel like that's just what life has been doing to me lately. And one of the biggest things that's happened, it's been a little minute since I went through it. Well, not that long, but I feel more comfortable to talk about that now. I don't like talking about things in the midst of going through it. I just feel like that's just the boundary for me. I left my job that I worked at for almost 5 years. I think that was definitely like, it impacted me in so many ways that I didn't even think it would. You don't really realize like how like ingrained or like intertwined you are with something until you put space between you and it, and then you see like, oh my god, like I really was so submerged in this thing. Like, wow, it just was so much. Like, just like the routine changed, just everything. Like, wow, it really made a big shift for me. And that was really, really difficult to go through. But I knew for me, it just was time for me to, again, I needed to just bloom and expand a little bit more. And I felt like I needed more space to do that. And so, yeah, I felt led to finally close that chapter of my life. And it's been really like good, but at the same time, it's like it was also really, really tough on me emotionally. I didn't realize like how much it would affect me. And so just going through that showed me that analogy of spring cleaning and like, like when you're cleaning like your bags and different containers and stuff, and then you're like, oh my god, I have all this stuff in here. I didn't even realize that I had all this stuff. Like, no wonder I don't got no space. And so you start shaking it to get all the stuff out. That's how life has felt recently. Like, it's felt like a shaking, but not a bad shaking, not a shaking as in you've messed everything up and now everything has to be destroyed, but more so like you've been collecting a lot of things that are taking up space for what actually belongs. And to help you, I'm going to shake these things away. These things have to fall off. These spaces need to be freed so that now I can pour into you and truly bring you into the spaces where you will have room, right? You'll have room to expand, you'll have room for what really belongs. That brought me a lot of comfort, because like I said, when you go through like these big life changes, I feel like the part that social media never talks about is, okay, after you do this thing, even if you know it's good for you, there's still a process where you may even have like a little bit of like a grieving type process where you might like cry and feel a lot of like identity shifts and just questioning yourself and like going through the motions again and again. And then you make it through that and you start to bloom. So again, no mud, no lotus. Without these things, I can't bloom. And that's just the process, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I see a lot of people talk about it. People are very quick to be like, quit your job. But like, that's a very big decision. Like, if you're gonna do that because you need to or you feel led to, by all means, go for it. But know that even if something is the right choice, it comes with emotions tied to it because we are emotional beings sometimes, okay? Like we have a lot. There's a lot in our little bodies. And I think sometimes our bodies can be a little bit averse to change, even if it's for our good. It's just like, I don't want to do that. But you got to know how to like separate that whole inner fight. Be like, you know what? I need to do this. I don't want to, but I need to. And that's kind of the situation I felt myself being put in, where it was like, you know what? I know my conditioning, okay, my emotional side does not want to do this, but I know that this is the next step for me. And where does it go beyond this? I still don't have the answers. I really don't. And at times that's made me feel stressed out. But I'm trying to look at it more so as like, you know what? Now that I'm an empty vessel, now I can be poured into. Now I can receive, right? because all this time I've been so full of everything that I haven't been able to receive what actually belongs and what actually is for me and what the Most High, right? Because for me, that's the most important thing. What does He want for me? And how can I be in alignment with Him? And so I feel like now I'm an open vessel, and like the Most High can really pour into me the things that belong and are necessary and are purposeful. And I feel like something good is going to come from this moment in my life. And so I just wanted to make this very spontaneous, random video. I haven't posted on YouTube in a minute because, again, these changes were happening, and I really needed to like be focused because it was a lot. But I actually have a lot of videos in the works, and so I am going for it. I'm doing it, and I am not holding back any longer. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, very random, but I just want to share my journey. And this is the journey. I'm not going to make it super duper polished. This is just where I'm at right now, and it's okay. And so if you're in the same place as me, you have been, or you're currently about to transition into something similar, I just hope that this video found you and gives you some comfort, and that you know that you are not alone. So if you like the vibes today, feel free to subscribe, comment below, and I hope that you'll stick around. It'd be nice to have you join. All right, y'all, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.